Hello, seniors, class of 2020. It's Mr. Binnert here, and as I was known in high school, John Binnert, as you can see here in my official senior photo with the buzz cut, which is not necessarily what was in fashion at the time, but it was very cheap, and I could do it at home. And I was playing football, and it just was more comfortable in a helmet in the Moriarty heat. So this picture was taken in August of 2001, which was the fall of my senior year. And as I'm sure you're aware, a few weeks later, September 11th, 2001 happened, and the planes hit the towers, and a lot changed. That was the year that I did We the People, and was fortunate enough to be on the state champion team and go to Washington, D.C. And it was pretty early on in all the new flight restrictions. It was an odd experience. And we were the first team from New Mexico ever to not be able to tour the White House because there were so many concerns about, anthrax and the possibility of a follow-up terrorist attack. And it was interesting to have such a shift in mindset, not only as a high schooler, but just everything around me and the way that society was changing before my eyes. And it's interesting to reflect on this with you because this is the time that you were born. Essentially, my senior year was around the time most of you came into the world, right? So you came into the world at that time, and as I said in an email to you, you then, at around the age of reason, which many people say is about 7, there was the Great Recession of 2008. The housing market collapsed, and the mindset of society shifted again, right? And this is at a time that you're starting to grapple with some things in the world. And now you're a senior in high school, and you're watching the world change in front of you, and you can see the way that society is shifting. And that's kind of a big thing. And, we shouldn't take that for granted. So what are the things that are changing? Well, your answers are going to be just as good as mine because you're living through this too, right? And people keep asking me how I think education is going to change as a result of this situation. And I can list some things, right? I think we have a new appreciation in society for teachers, at least if we remember what this felt like. I think that we can better understand the importance of the gap in technology and internet access among our various communities in New Mexico, but also in the United States, which is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. And hopefully we can see that education is something that should be valued well beyond the grade. That there's something that's happening here while you're here in school that is tremendously important and impactful. As a wider society, we can reflect on matters of healthcare, universal basic income, and how we prepare for things more appropriately. We can think about money in different ways, like how do you have a single part of one stimulus package be worth over $2 trillion when that's almost as big as the entire budget for the US government for a year, right? That's a lot of money. And so there's all of these different reflections that are happening, and I'm sure you're thinking about these same things and probably also lamenting in some way, right, the way that your senior year is finishing, all of the traditions of prom and a conventional timely graduation ceremony, and saying goodbye to one another and your teachers in person at the same time as all of those other things, right? Those are all moments that we tend to take for granted. And I hope that we can learn from you how to be resilient in moments like that, moments that your parents, your teachers, your grandparents haven't faced, that they can't really relate to. So you were the first to endure these moments, right? And you're living in the meantime. And we're watching you in the meantime. And we're here for you in the meantime. And as answers come, we'll give them to you in the meantime. I just wanted to hear that and understand that all of us here at Cottonwood are a part of your family and that we always will be. And I hope that while we're learning from you in the meantime, we're also preparing ourselves to learn from the future version of you when you come back and help us better understand how these moments and these situations in the meantime have impacted you and your view on society. And there's a lot of value in that. And it's hard to see right now. And that's understandable. But while you're dealing with this meantime, please let us know if you need anything. Make sure that you make liberal use of your parents and family. And we look forward to seeing you, hopefully really soon, as a whole group, so that we can celebrate you and give you opportunities to say your goodbyes and to have some of the traditions of a senior year. So it's with that hope and with that regard that I bid you adieu and wish you well in the meantime.